What's going on, everyone? TF32 is back on the case. We're back with TF32 returns to GeoGuessr. We'll place somewhere random in the world. We need to figure out just where the fuck we are. And we'll have a little bit of an idea because we're doing a certain category of Nordic countries. I was considering doing a Scandinavia map, but you only get 3 nations, and with Nordic countries, I think there's at least a couple more you can get. So I like the bit of variation, and I do intend on visiting some of these countries in the very near future. So I'd love to go ahead and do it. Much like the other games we've done today, 5 minutes per round, 5 spawns, and 5 guesses. Triple 5. So the scoring algorithm is going to be narrowed down a bit. It'll be hard to get a big score. Grand Samvaken. Neighborhood watch. Well, that flag over there certainly helped. I couldn't get far enough into that sign to see it. If I zoom in any further, it just blurs. And we're in this very small neighborhood. I'm assuming we're along a Great Lakes style lake. Looks like we have a slightly bigger road right here. We have a team. A teamon, I believe, means hour. Or hours, even. It's been a little bit since I've studied Swedish. Neat. New... What does that mean? New father? Or something? Pop-tak, I forget. This isn't a Generation 2 map, is it? I believe Norway has Generation 4, but that's not important because this is Norway. The one deficit of these rounds is that these countries, with the exception of Denmark, are rather big. So getting a good score isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world, especially with a different scoring algorithm. Also, Swedish uses different letters from Danish and Norwegian. I've tried doing Danish on Duolingo, and the voice recognition is just awful. So I'm going to have to take a professional course for Danish. I can do Norwegian and Swedish just fine now, because they're pretty straightforward. We got E20 and E4. 2 pretty prominent highways in Sweden, I'll say that. So I think the most logical option would be to go where E4 and E20 intersect. We have 2 minutes left. Unless E4 and E20 are the same thing around here, so we're probably close by to Stockholm. Let's go near here, Hookmossen. See if that's somewhat close. We're 9.4 miles away. And Salem, I'm guessing is how you say it. It's not Salem like Massachusetts or New Hampshire. I'm guessing you pronounce it Salem. It's near the area of Flemingsberg. It's a decent score, though. It's alright. Now, this area, got these marshmallows, these giant, delicious-looking marshmallows. All I need to do is look for a giant fire. We have these guardrails. We have long dashes on the sides of the road. About 100% sure it's Norway. It could be 99. I can't go above 100, obviously. But no, we also have the prominent barn-style houses, which you see across all the nations, so it's pretty much useless. I'm not sure if you get Finland here or not, or Iceland, for instance, or Faroe Islands. You really should. You also get a lot of Vik towns. We got Røyrvik, Gjersvik, They look pretty small because they're only about 17 and 12 miles away, respectively. So, chances of us finding this are not very high. Although I do think I'm leaning further south, and it's definitely not that far inland because look at where the water is. And the water is facing south, actually. Isn't that interesting? Let's get by these trees first. I want to get a better view of the water. That's a pretty big fjord. And yeah, our water is facing south. I'm thinking we could be somewhere down here, maybe, like Utoka. Or Vigadal, something like that. Now, do we have any other cities that we could use? We got Skolervatten and Gerong. Or Geroni, is it? We got a town here literally called The Beer. It's pretty funny. Öl is the word for beer in both Norwegian and Swedish. And you know what? I think it is in Danish as well. It's the Scandinavian word for beer. Skål is the word for shoe, or skål, depending on which language you're studying. And Geroni seems to be 73 kilometers away. And this road's facing west. Let's go here. I honestly don't know. Okay, so we were further up north, and it was an inland lake. It wasn't a fjord, it was a lake. We weren't going to find that. I'm telling you, the points are very punishing in this. Yeah, I knew it would be in advance. So which country is this here? I don't know, those light posts are making me lean more Sweden here. Muntamo. You know, now I see that, I'm thinking, is that more of like a Finnish name? Or a Finnish word, even? Although this could be the western part of Finland, because they do speak Swedish there as well. Kanviksvägen. Vägen is the word for way or road. So you'll see a lot of road signs that say Vägen or Veien if you're in Norway. We don't have any dashes on the sides of the road, though. And we can't use that truck as a clue because the frame rate of the then moving camera is eclipsing all that stuff. I mean, there's short dashes on the road there, but that's for off the side of the road or something. Finska sokke. So does that mean Finnish socks? Does that mean I'm right? Keep in mind, other than O, Finnish uses the exact same alphabet as Swedish. See, these are definitely Finnish names here. But I'm gonna go towards Western Finland, because that's where all the Swedish influence is. I'm gonna go towards Liminka. That's just what I'm feeling at the moment. And we were actually very close to the capital. I would not have found that. And you know what? I take that back. I guess they have the Swedish names of towns in Finland as well. They do have that O letter in Finnish, but only to a certain extent. And for town names, I think that's as far as they might take it. But I mean, a crap score. This is Norway. But Norway isn't terribly good news. Hold on, let's go back to what I got at the beginning. No, that's a Norwegian dash. I thought it was the camera screwing with me. But those names are saying otherwise. Those don't look like Norwegian names at all. So we could be very far up north where the Sami language is more prominent. This is for sure a Norway round, but the names say something completely different. And Norwegian isn't the only primary language of Norway. There's Sami, and that's very prominent up north. There are two different Norwegian dialects as well. There's Bokmål and Nynorsk, but Nynorsk is only getting a little bit of traction. Bokmål is getting the bigger end of the stick because it's just been around longer. I think because when Denmark and Norway were one nation, they had a lot of similar words, and I guess Norwegian just took loads of loan words from Danish. And Nynorsk is sort of inventing their own words, but I have not learned Nynorsk to this day. Conjugation is still pretty well exactly the same. And now let's look at... And this looks like a Finnish name. I stand by this. Where's the mountains, though? That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if this is very northern Finland. I'm gonna go there. I'm going to very northern Finland, and let's look at the town names here. You get, it could be up there. It's very rare that you have a round that's up there that looks this green. You just don't get it. You either get desolate atmosphere or snow. Although, what were the letters I saw on there? That could help me sway my guess. Yeah, this is Finland. And I think we're very far up. Norwegian doesn't use those letters, but I do think it's very far up. Just a matter of where up here it is. We have less than a minute, so I'm gonna go near... going north. Palohjärvi, let's try there. Holy shit. I was so far away. I was so convinced. The roads, that was a Norwegian looking road. But the layout, there were no mountains. There were just trees. That was so confusing. And I know you get those American styled dashes and solids in Finland as well. I mean, you do get them often in the US, but in Canada as well. So that was a bit confusing. This is the last round of the game. Looks like we have... it's too early to tell. Nord. Pucka Center. I'm not so sure. No. I shouldn't even be using the sun anymore, because it's not going to help me here. Vaske. Vaske, I believe that's a word in one of the languages for wash. And I was going to say Norwegian, but I saw that language down there. They do use those characters in Norwegian, but it looks, just the layout of the words, I'm leaning more Danish. And that's a Danish sign. You see more of that in particular, that letter in particular. You see it more often in Norwegian. K. That's the word for meat. We love meat. Vi elsker kø. The D is, it's weird. It's pronounced like an L. It's literally the French. It's like the Scandinavian equivalent of French. That's why it's so hard to learn on Duolingo. I have no problem learning it with the letters and just reading it, but saying it through the microphone on my phone it's a different story entirely. But anyway, let's look at these towns right here. We have Makel. I guess that means, yeah, it's like a supermarket. And what direction is this road facing? It's going north. With the layout of this, surely we can't be by Copenhagen. What other towns? We have Brolnerslave as well. It's a 190 road. Let's go near where I saw that 191. Let's just guess there, because I'm not seeing any other things that say 190. And we also have that little time left. And I didn't have enough time to go up there. Unfortunately, we were near the town of Albury, somewhat. A little further up, though. Wouldn't have guessed there. So we got 10,000. Pretty typical because these countries are pretty big, but also the scoring algorithm is different. So this is generally what you can expect for scores, and I will not be factoring this into averages. I'm not even doing the average anymore. I'm just doing this for fun. But I'll do one more run of this in the next video, so stay tuned for that.